Hello, everyone. It is a glorious evening as we step into some more CGL Overwatch 2 in a PC open tier. My name is Sam Talks. Joining me is 2Tryhard Ray. And Ray, we have nothing short of a spectacular matchup with Krazy 88z going up against Trailblazers.
Keep in mind, this is win or go home. We are in the first round of the losers bracket, so whoever moves on will keep their tournament lives, keep it going essentially, and try and complete a crazy lower bracket run. We said many times, time and time again, this was actually Krazy 88z, Chef Billy's pick for, if they get the right things in the right place, a team to really watch out for. And last week they proved it. They went up against Worldwide, a contenders level team. I mean, it's not the exact roster from the contenders, but they took them to 5 maps. They were actually up 2-0. They got reverse swept.
So that gives you an idea of what we're going to be looking at here with Krazy 88z. A strong team, a powerful team, and a team that, for their own hope, for their own sake, is looking to stay in this tournament. But let's go ahead and take a look at that roster, Ray.
Yeah, as a lot of familiar faces to this console scene, this has been one of those teams who made the jump from console to PC. A lot of the very familiar faces on this lineup, Ricky and Ryan Guy, are two guys to highlight who have made that jump. They also have Smurfy X on the bench, so I'm sure a lot of you console players are going to recognize those names.
And then, of course, Jutsu, Melophobia, and Bolting Cake to round out the rest of this Krazy 88z lineup. Still something that I think we're all very excited to see, how they are able to overcome the challenges and the improvements that they've made since the last time we saw them on broadcast. Now, of course, there is their competitors to talk about as well, that being Trailblazers. And Ray, I mean, this is also looking like a pretty solid team.
Yeah, I mean, they're ready to blaze a trail, a path into the next round of the tournament. You know, Veilside Realm, Seal, How's Your Day, and Muhiki. I mean, there's just oozing talent all over this roster. But like we mentioned, both these teams find themselves in the losers bracket. Who will be losing their tournament lives and who's going to be moving on? Both teams backs against the wall tonight.
But when your back is against the wall, Ray, that's kind of the most exciting time, especially from the viewer perspective. These teams are going to be pulling out all of the stomps because there is no other choice. Like we've been saying, like we've been reiterating time and time again, this is a do or die situation. This is a do or die series. It is all or nothing. The cards are on the table, and you need to make sure that your hand is gonna be strong. But Ray, I mean, what's a game of Overwatch? What is Overwatch without the maps that we are going to be playing on?
Yeah, what is Overwatch without the maps? But we will start out on Control like we always have. I'm actually not sure who the higher seed was in this situation, but we have seen time and time again that Lijiang Tower has been most teams just comfort pick to really start things off.
It's what makes them happy, right? It's that well-rounded, that control map that you find a lot of comfort on. Other than, sometimes we see Oasis sneak its head in there, especially during certain brawlier metas where you can get a little bit more out of Gardens and out of Academy. Lijiang Tower just tends to be that safety, that comfort pick, the place where you feel like you can get the most mileage out of, and that's where a lot of teams are going to be getting that. And so what we're going to be seeing out of that, right, is well, there we go. We actually do have our map pick. And Ray, I said it's either going to be Lijiang, and sometimes we see Oasis, And it actually is going to be us going to Oasis.
It's been very interesting. I have had the opportunity to cast a lot of the games this week, and I would say 95% of the time it's been Lijiang Tower. And then there was like a one time where I got Nepal. So this is the first time we're actually getting Oasis. So very excited to see this map coming into play. I think it's a very versatile map. We get all different compositions. I mean, University, we're just bound to see a bunch of brawl, but then when you go to Gardens and downtown, that's when you can start seeing more dive options, Doomfist, Divas, Wrecking Balls. I'm like very excited to see just the flexibility we can see out of these teams going from submap to submap.
And that's what we are going to be looking for, right? That flexibility, that attention to what you have best in your pocket. But here we have it. Oasis is going to be our first map, and also very exciting, Ray. We're going to be seeing Flashpoint as well for our third map. So a lot of really exciting moments here in this CGL, this lower bracket run through, this final chance here for both of our teams. But in less than 10 seconds, as the doors open and we get to take a first look at what the hero choice is going to be.
As, I mean, it's University. Expect some semblance of a brawl, as it looks like both teams are going to do exactly that. Krazy 88z, which is interesting. They have Ricky on the tank tonight. Last week against Worldwide, they brought him in for 2 maps, the final 2 maps, and he was playing support. So now he's going over to that tank role. How is that going to change things up in the series? And they're going with the more tanky, just bulky Orisa comp. While the Trailblazers, they're taking a little different approach. They're going to go with that Sigma style composition. We even saw peek its head in the Overwatch League Grand Finals. So it's a lot of damage and a lot of poke.
Ooh, that's going to be a beautifully placed wall. Seeing if real quick get Melophobia out of here. No, the Immortality Field is going to do its job perfectly well done. A Krazy 88z steamrolling right on top of the Trailblazers. One final pick from How's Your Day, but really that's all they're going to be getting out of that team fight.
Excuse me. So with the Orisa composition that we're seeing out of the Krazy 88z, because you're going up against a Sigma wants to have that space. They want to be able to poke and prod. So it was a nice job by the Krazy 88z of getting in their face and applying pressure.
Ooh, right in the back line. Ryan Guy is going to go. Still, you're going to try and take away the turret form from Jutsu. Needing to break through this ice wall is going to be difficult for Rel, but now they found a little bit of an opening. Out goes the railgun shot, but the wall comes up just in the nick of time. And Jutsu lives to fight another day. Trailblazers push back off once more.
As, I mean, it's just very impressive. The aggression Krazy 88z are playing. They are not playing around today. They are trying to push themselves to the next round and keep their hopes alive. They're going to be able to continue to defend here. A lot of ultimates coming online for them. We're going to be getting the battle of the ant matrices here.
Oh, once again, that wall, though. This wall, time and time again, it keeps trying to separate Ricky, but the amplification matrix for Krazy 88z just gets rid of it immediately. Now on the other side, we're seeing the Ant Matrix used by Trailblazers. Jutsu is going to fall, and Seal is going to be that spearhead. They do have the Graviton, the Gravitic Flux ready and waiting to go primed up, but we're also seeing the Terror Surge that Ricky has in a beautiful Javelin, icing out Seal as well. Only one caught inside of it, but you get rid of the tank for the Trailblazers. The point may have flipped, but how much more are you going to be able to get out of it? In comes the sound barrier, but how well is it going to last with the Terror Surge as everyone desperately tries to flee in all of the different directions? Another fantastic Javelin. Spears How's Your Day to the wall. Melophobia to finish it off. And as soon as Krazy 88z lost it, it felt like they got it back, but still, Ray, 21% on the board.
Yeah, to steal that away is a very big deal. It's going to at least give them an extra fight to be able to work with, as they are desperately trying to take down this Baptiste, but okay, they do get him down, and that's going to be huge. If you are the Trailblazers, you got to back out now, and you really only get one more shot at this.
Yeah, you're looking at it. Seal is backed off, backed away, separated, isolated. The break in the wall does come through, they get out, but still, the stagger, Ray. Look how much time is being wasted.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. However, Trailblazers, they have a lot. There's the Flux.
And it goes, already finding Bolting Cake down to the ground. Juicer tried to go to the turret for it, but How's Your Day? Skating right over the wall. It's looking like finally Trailblazers are going to be able to blaze their way in. And just in the nick of time, in overtime, flip the point.
and they net themselves a pretty good position to continue to add some percentage on the clock, because you're going to have a blizzard to work with here, and the Krazy 88z. I mean, the only thing you really have to deal with it is going to be the fortifying from the Orisa to try and get your team out. So this is going to be a deadly situation that 88s find themselves in, but they just got to be patient, Sam. They're coming up on a lot of ultimates. They just got to try and pull out this blizzard and not use any ultimates in this fight.
It's going to be a difficult one, right? It's going to be tough. With Krazy 88 sitting at that 99% marker, they're really just starting to build up towards ultimates of their own. Melophobia very close, but losing Jutsu before you can even begin the team fight, and then sandwiched right inside of a nice ice block. Ricky's able to get out of there, but a lot of damage is going to be pumped out onto them. Trailblazers still holding on to a great many. 2 ultimates now. Realm was able to build up to that overclock. But now you got it for the next fight. Melophobia is going to go ahead and expend their Blizzard. Ryan Guy's going to combo that with the sound barrier, but Ricky's not going to be able to get much out of it except for how's your day?
As things are turning disastrous for the 88s, you now put yourself in a situation where you're now in final fight territory and you haven't forced out any ults.
It's getting closer and closer. 90% Krazy 88s. Melophobia staggered out. Ryan Guy's going to come up a little bit early. Melophobia having to switch over now. Realm inside of an overclock. Krazy 88 is forced to go onto the point. This is good bait. The Terror Surge has to be committed to make sure that Ricky doesn't get frozen, but so much damage on top of them to try and stall things out here. Krazy 88, they had it all in their pocket, but the steel nerves of the Trailblazers seeming like it's going to be able to reign supreme here. How's your day? Getting off the sound barrier just in time. And I say just in time, but really the time was all in favor for the Trailblazers, it looked like. But now, it's going to be going first round to them.
As the Trailblazers come back and the pick composition that the Sigma provides started to find its value. They use their ultimates to get that point flipped, and then that's where you're in the stronghold position. Your Sigma then has the space to work with. Your Sojourn can take the angles and find those railgun shots, and the 88s did not, the Trailblazers did not look back after that. As we now move to City Center, as it looks like the 88s are going to take a page out of the Trailblazers book. They're going to have Rookie go over to the Sigma, but they're going to have Melophobia, who played this a lot in their previous series against Worldwide, going over to the Genji. He was very talented on that Genji, so Trailblazers got to be ready. But Veilside just does a great job of countering Genji with that May primary fire.
Exactly. They're going to have to keep an eye on Veilside. They cannot get caught out. Otherwise, it's going to be an icy grave here for our Cyborg Ninja. Realm looking to take a big flank maneuver here, may be able to grab Bolt and Cake, jumping themselves up in the air, not quite building up towards that 100% railgun charge just yet. Now the favor is going to be returned on the other side of that. Still trying to poke and prod. Both teams now on the point. Both Sigmas looking at each other. Veilside looking to isolate Ricky, but not going to be happening. A quick accretion rock goes in, trying to stay alive. Ricky desperately needed to get the heals. Are going to be able to find it, but look at how they're getting swarmed on top of. It was get rid of Ricky, find them out as quick as possible. Melophobia, on the other hand, may have been able to take out Muhiki, as neither team really been able to find the foothold just yet, but with Trailblazers having their tank ray, it should lean in their favor.
We do have the support in their favor, but it's not going to matter. Ryan Guy goes down. Point goes to the Trailblazers as the 88s got to back up and regroup. They cannot continue to stagger in a lost fight like this. It's only going to be their detriment. As Trailblazers, just look at how's your day. He's already got a sound barrier. What is this? That's insane for a Lucio.
Insane, I think, is the correct definition. Melophobia trying to contest with Realm, wanting to build up to it, but the second they pulled up the blade, well, you better put it right back, Melophobia. God, Trailblazers are not messing around anymore, Ray.
That they are not. They're like, all right, you got your 99% on that previous map, but that is all you're going to get. We are going to wipe the floor with you going forward. And they haven't even had to burn a single ultimate as that. Again, I do think that blade was a little bit of a mistake for Melophobia. They were already down in that fight, and the Blizzard's now coming out.
Yeah, it's just going to be used to kind of deny Krazy 88s the chance to walk in here. 3-4 ultimates now online for 88s. They need to figure out ways to use them, and Ricky's going to already start things off with that Gravitic Flux, comboing it, Jutsu, finding the head onto Veilside. Realm setting themselves back up. got the sound barrier, but really at this point for Trailblazers, they're just gonna have to back off, back away, and try to survive, not get staggered out here.
As that was a late sound barrier coming out from How Is Your Day. They tried, the Flux came out, but Jutsu was just quicker with it. Gets the railgun kill on to, I believe it was Realm or Muhiki, I don't remember who it was, but they were down, and that was all she wrote. Yeah. Oh my goodness!
All right, Jutsu. A little bit quiet right here, but empowered by the amplification matrix. Good enough to blast Realm right off the map of Oasis.
And then all that took, and that's going to buy you a good 10, 12, 15 seconds, was an Ant Matrix, and now they're going to have to deal with the overclock.
Jutsu's really starting to get in charge of how they're feeling through this. Up in the air, Melophobia walling it off, and now we're going to see the Gravitic Flux expended. Ryan Guy, however, is going to be able to use that sound barrier to keep themselves safe as Melophobia dashes right on in. Realm sees one head, but that is all they're going to be seeing before finally Melophobia rotates right back on top of them, and now we're seeing just a brawl inside of the corner. Seal catches Melophobia, but still only 130 HP. Needs to try and hit the accretion rock. One guy proven to be a little too wily for that. Still, Krazy 88's getting so much percentage now.
Yes, but because of the manpower they've lost in that fight, Sam, they have to back out, and they're not going to be able to push forward as aggressively. So Trailblazers have an opportunity to buy themselves some space and allow Realm to take an angle and try and find a railgun shot, as it's starting to look more and more bleak as Krazy 88s have already flipped the percentage in their favor.
That they have Krazy 88s in the lead, looking towards that 80% marker. Jutsu also looking towards maybe a head that can be clicked until Melophobia goes in with the Dragon Blade. And it is beautiful, it is deadly, and it is cutting through the Trailblazers. And it may just cut them Krazy 88s into this second round.
Yeah, as Realm is the only possible person left who can touch, and that is going to wrap things up on City Center. Krazy 88s fire back, and we're going to a map number 3, and it's all going to come down to Gardens.
This is this weird moment right now, Ray, between these two teams, right? Where one of them looks so far ahead and you wonder if it's going to be possible for the other team to be able to catch up. And then not only do they catch up, but then they take the round in their favor. It's a crazy moment that we've seen out of both rounds here in Oasis. Still, though, only one team is going to be able to come out the victor. This is the final round. We are going to Gardens, and we're seeing a startlingly similar lineup to what we had in the previous.
Yeah, neither team is swapping up anything. Melophobia continuing to play the Genji Veil side, going to play that Mei, and that's the difference in these compositions. It's going to be up Melophobia being able to find these picks and unleash that damage very early before Veil side with the CC, with the Mei ult, and all the damage can really take its toll on the front line of the Trailblazers, yeah. 88.
And Trailblazers already setting themselves up on the high ground. The accretion rock sails right through. Jutsu there, stuck for a moment, but look at Seal just not wasting any time, giving that Lucio speed boost, is just gonna go right in and completely run over Krazy 88. Gone in the blink of an eye, Ray.
That's kind of how you have to be. Ricky can do absolutely nothing about that Mei primary fire. So if you as a team just speed boost into them and take out their Sigma and their front line before Melophobia can do anything to your back line, you're going to be extremely solid. As Krazy 88's tried to touch there, but the point flips for the Trailblazers.
And Krazy 88s, they're still a little bit scattered out, trying to rotate over. Jutsu has that full railgun charge. See if a head can be ripped off. You did do enough damage for Ricky to take down How's Your Day. Now looking towards another target up in the air. So close, Muhiki. Very low. It's another railgun shot. Does its job. Now you're looking towards getting rid of the tank. Trying to survive. Ryan Guy gonna feel one of those railgun shots for themselves as well, but the Trailblazers fall. Krazy 88s get that point.
As we now even see Ricky, who's on that Junker Queen. So that's going to be even more aggression from the 88s. They're not even going to bother taking the Sigma matchup. They're going to say, Ricky and Ryan Guy, we're looking to use your commanding shout and your speed boost to get in the face of Seal and make his life hard, because we talk about it, Sigma thrives on that space. So this is going to be a very troublesome thing for Seal to be able to deal with.
It is. Just get right in their face. Don't allow them to breathe. Don't allow them to think. Use some of that same tactics that were used against you here. But maybe Melophobia is going to have a tactic of let's just start swinging the blade and see what can be done with it. A massive amount of work that was traded out almost immediately by Realm here with 2 picks of their own. But Melophobia is not going to let these injustices go unpunished. They are going to hunt them down. They're going to get these picks. They're going to even things back out in the favor of Krazy 88z.
As the momentum for the 88s are continuing to build, Trailblazers, they're coming back. I like this combo they're going to have available to them, Sam. They're going to have a Flux with an Overclock, as Veilside is now going to swap over to the Soldier 76. I feel like the only issue you're going to have there is Soldier is very susceptible to getting taken down by a dive from the Genji.
We're going to see a Gravitic Flux in the air, but no picks happening from it just yet. Meanwhile, if you look at the kill feed, Jutsu's having the time of their life. That overclock coming out massive. And this is something that we're seeing from Krazy 88z, right? Their DPS ultimates have been finding so much value ever since like halfway point of round 2.
Final fight for Trailblazers to try and make something happen. They really need Realm to find some picks with this overclock. He's done it previously back on University. Can he come up with the goods?
Seal had to take so much damage there. Just even trying to look at the point, that amplification matrix is slowing things down massively. We rotate back around, we're seeing Melophobia engaging in, getting that first pick. Veilside is out of here. The Trailblazers, disastrous for them to be losing out. Thankfully, though, Realm is going to come up in big ways of their own, finding a similar elimination onto Bolting Cake. And with the Trailblazers inside of this overtime, gets rid of Ricky, gets rid of every single member of Krazy 88z. Last second here from Ryan Guy to try and delay it out. But in overtime, once more, Trailblazers hold on.
As this is going to be a steep mountain to climb for the Trailblazers. But that was Realm coming through, getting Bolting Cake out. So there went all the heals available for the Krazy 88. So a very crucial pick when the team needed it most for Realm. As now you come in, all you have is a sound barrier to continue to hold here. And there's a blade coming in after that. There's a rampage. How do you defend against both of these ultimates?
Trailblazers are going to have to answer that question very soon here, Ray. Especially once we see the Melophobia blade get drawn. They're desperately seeking, they're desperately looking. Azurday is playing them like a fiddle, though. Completely nullifying and negating the Dragon Blade. That's one way to do it, but you did make Azurday expend out on that sound barrier, and that set Ricky up perfectly to go in with the Rampage and completely cut up Trailblazers out of here on Oasis and secure map 1 for Krazy 88z.
It's just as I said, Sam. You were gonna have to use that sound barrier for the blade, and that just allowed Ricky to get a 4-man rampage and give Krazy 88z the first map win in the series and give them some nice positive momentum trying to keep their lower bracket run alive.
It almost felt like a sort of corral attempt right there, right? In that final team fight with Melophobia and that Dragon Blade. It didn't quite get any picks out of it, but it forced everyone off the high ground and into the line of sight of that rampage. And it was like you said, 4 players caught. It was a massive rampage that you expended the sound barrier to try and survive through the blade, and disaster, right? It just all fell apart here. For the Trailblazers, Krazy 88z coming up in a very massive way.
Extremely close series, back and forth for all of these teams. So if you're the Trailblazers, you just got to make some small, tiny adjustments here or there. I think when they swap that Junker Queen, maybe either swapping things up or maybe swapping your DPS around to try and give some more support to your Sigma, who's just under constant duress from Ricky, might be the play. But if you're the Trailblazers, you also get to pick the map for the next map, for the hybrid map.
And interestingly enough, Ray, when we talk about hybrid maps, what do we typically think of? We typically think of King's Row if teams are given a choice. But we got a slight wrinkle here, because guess what, Ray? We're going. Hope you packed your bags, because we're going to Blizzard World.
I mean, BlizzCon is right around the corner, so very fitting that Blizzard World is going to be our hybrid map for tonight. I'm very excited. To me, I'm not sure what that says. I feel like Sigma is still going to be a very, very solid pick on Blizzard World. Very poke oriented. This is where you could even like bring out an Ash or a hit scan. Oh, and we're gonna get like the overcast edition. I like this.
I like this too. And team's not wasting any time. You were right though, Ray. Trailblazers on the attack, looking towards that Sigma composition, that Sigma poke composition. Veilside on that Hanzo, and Muhiki hovering at the very least right now. We're looking at that Illari. Krazy 88z though, same thing that they were running with on Oasis ever since round 2. Ever since round 2 of Oasis, they've just been running this composition with Sans Ricky on the Junker Queen.
I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it is the old adage. As Trailblazers, they're also going to have Muhiki on this Illari, which I'm kind of for it. A lot of sightlines to work with, and I mean, again, this is just going to highlight the fact that they are poke. They need to be patient, keep their distance, and they're waiting for their Illari, the Sojourn, the Soldier, to just find a pick, and then that's their green light to move in.
Yeah, they're rotating around, don't want to go through the main gates of BlizzCon. We'll take the secret way in. Accretion Rock sailing through the air, but no targets as that rock just hits straight on to the ground. Krazy 88z retreating back onto the point itself, now looking towards taking some more of that high ground, catching Veilside out, and Ricky, a double kill, blowing the doors wide open for the Krazy 88z and preventing this attack from Trailblazers from going any further.
And that's going to be the name of the game for the Krazy 88z. Is trying to be aggressive, get in the face of a poke composition, and get rid of them before they find that crucial pick to allow themselves to push in. So that was the aggression from the 88s is what we needed to see, and they're playing it very well. For again, because they're playing poke for the Trailblazers, they're relying on single pop-off moments from their players. We just have not seen that in that first fight.
That's all right. We still have multiple opportunities here. Still 2 minutes and 45 seconds on the clock. I can read time, don't worry. Again, though, the Krazy 88z just looking to bunker themselves down on the site. Trailblazers have to try and crack through it. It becomes so much more difficult with the way Krazy 88z are rotating, and now it's just time to get right into the face of the Trailblazers. We see the shout from Ricky, giving themselves that little bit of an extra speed boost. Ryan Guy isolated from the team, gonna hit back over there quick, but Muhiki finding that first pick onto Bolting Cake, and Melophobia a little too far forward. That Seal only gets rid of them, but finds Jutsu as well. Both DPS gone, Krazy 88z, and that is going to be Trailblazers, getting this point A.
There you go. That's how that poke composition works. Keep your space, allow your hit scans to be able to pop off, and they're able to do that without even needing a single ultimate. So now they put themselves in a great spot to build momentum heading into this next point. The one thing that is worrisome, because they're playing poke and they're playing a Baptiste Illari, they don't have a lot of defensive capabilities. So these ultimates coming online for Krazy 88z could find a lot of value.
Speaking of a lot of value, Jutsu's just gonna skate right on by that Gravitic Flux. Instead, using those rocket legs to propel themselves up in the air, and a Disruptor shot finds a kill. Another one in the pocket for Jutsu. And now we're just seeing Krazy 88z coming right back onto point A. They may have lost it, but they're still gonna fight it out on here.
And in that situation, you're trading 2 for 2. So very favorable for this defense for the Krazy 88z, as this rampage is the thing I'm extremely worried about. You have nothing that can stop this from getting a lot of value.
Exactly, it's just gonna be so scary, and even more scary is the Melophobia blade that's just gonna have such free reign, Ray. Look, it's not gonna be stopped. Nobody can stop Melophobia.
Exactly, no sound barrier like the Krazy 88z have, so you're just going to be able to, if you're Melophobia, just slice and dice through their entire team, and you're just going to get full value. However, Krazy 88z, they can't afford to be too aggressive, because at any moment you could drop an Ant Matrix, and you can combo that with a Tactical Visor or an Overclock.
Or you just go straight up into it. A Rampage from Ricky it looked like things were going in the favor of the Trailblazers until Ricky goes ahead, pops that Rampage, and is just gonna go insane. Look at how low Seal is. Thankfully, they're gonna be able to keep themselves alive, keep themselves going. Krazy 88z finally off the payload.
Yeah, you're forced to back up because they lost Ryan Guy in that rotation trying to get out of there. So they have to afford and let Trailblazers take some space. And you're able to do that without even committing an ultimate if you're the Trailblazers. So that is like the picture perfect moment. They could have asked for his Jutsu pops the overclock.
Let's see if it is going to end now, or if Realm is going to be the one to do it, too! From Jutsu, shutting that down, but Veilside has the aimbot. Unfortunately, the only thing they're going to be aiming at is seeing the dead bodies of their teammates and getting the heck out of there.
2 minutes left on the clock for the Trailblazers to make something happen. As now that you've gotten past this corner, this pick composition that you're playing with the Trailblazers, it's a much favorable spot for you to be in. It's just being able to get yourself past the archway and then getting your hit scans the space. But Ricky's aggression is paying off time and time again.
It's paying off massively. And they're just going in there. They're just, hold on, I'm gonna do this all myself, is what it felt like there. And they're still gonna keep going, they're still gonna keep fighting. Beautiful maneuvering here from Ricky. Throws the knife right into Seal, pulls him back in. This is just unreal, Ray. They keep doing it time and time again.
And they're just getting away with so much aggression. I feel like at some point, if you're the Trailblazers, you have to punish it, and they're just not. It's just getting away with cold-hearted murder, like in open public. As you're going to come back, you're going to have a combination. You could use this Flux. You're going to have a Captive Sun. But Ricky, again, has this Rampage. And we saw what happened last time. He flipped the fight in a blink of an eye.
Rabbinic Flux is going to be answered with immediately by that sound barrier, but up in the air, Muhiki is going to release the sun out into the wild. Now comes in the Rampage. Now comes in the pain. Nothing that Muhiki can do to heal themselves through that ultimate. Krazy 88z once again in charge of that payload.
30 seconds left on the clock for the Trailblazers. I feel like the distance they've gained right now, Sam, is not going to be enough to allow them to tie this series up. They have to find a way to get a little bit more distance, even cap the second point, as they're not going to have a lot to work with. Their DPS ultimates are coming online, however.
Just need to find a way to use it. Realm looking towards options here. They need to go into the back line, but Ricky is just going to get in their face, push them off that high ground, and nothing is going to be gotten out of that overclock. Now it's up to Veilside. If Veilside can even survive to see that ultimate be used. The Dragon Blade has been popped out. And just like that, the Krazy 88z wasting away the overtime stops Trailblazers from looking at even halfway to point B.
As that is the issue for the composition that you're playing is the Trailblazers. No defensive capabilities. So once the 88s get those offensive ults online, they're just going to continue to wreck shop. But you don't even have to combo because you have no sound beer or anything. They're just going to use one at a time every fight. They're going to rotate. One fight they use Rampage. One fight they use Blade. The next fight they use Ant Matrix. It makes it so hard for the Trailblazers if you aren't consistently finding early picks, and they just were not.
No, they weren't. Krazy 88z too, Ray. It's this insane aggression that they're having out of the Junker Queen, right? It's unreal what Ricky is able to get away with, and just how much value they're getting out of Junker Queen. Not only that, but they also cycle through these ultimates so well. And the Trailblazers, I understand what they're trying to do with this composition, but it feels just like it's not working out, right? The Lucio is just such a valuable part of being able to just keep your team alive. And Illari is a fantastic support, don't get me wrong, but you're missing out on so much. You're missing out on speed, you're missing out on survivability, you're missing out on what makes Lucio just basically a main pick.
Exactly. Those are the two things why Lucio is so important. It's the ability to have that sound barrier for sustain to help deal with these offensive ultimates, and then it's having that speed to be able to counter rotate, especially going up against a speedy composition like the Junker Queen. As we now see Veilside, who's going to be on the Ashe for this fight, and okay, that's a great start.
That is a great start. All right, finally we're seeing the poke get a little bit pokey, and Veilside's looking very strong on that Ashe. A little bit of extra defense here, pushing away. Ricky trying to survive, but Ryan Guy keeping them up at the moment. Still, though, we're seeing some signs of life. Seal may have fallen, so Krazy 88z may have their opening here.
Nah, they lost too many people early in that fight. Seal's going to be back before they even are going to make any semblance of a push. But they should, it'll buy them some space. They'll be able to push in just a bit. but they're not going to be able to make any kind of crazy moves here. But their goal is to get on top of Vale's side. They cannot allow him to take these angles and get 3 easy dynamites onto the side of Krazy 88z.
No, they're not. And they're also looking around, seeing where it is. Now back in through the gateway over here into the back lines of the Trailblazers. Vale, a lot of damage onto them, forced off of that high ground. Now looking towards Krazy 88z that is sitting up there themselves. Vale side, though, channeling their inner aimbot from the Soldier 76, seeing the head of Jutsu. And sometimes all it takes is just that one click. Krazy 88z still fighting it out in the back line, but not getting much out of it so far.
Realm goes very low, but they're not able to finish off the kill. If you bide your time and you're patient and you get some of your players back fast enough, you might be able to use a sound barrier. There it is.
There it is. That's exactly what the Krazy 88z needed. Just that little bit of extra survivability that comes from, once again, having this Lucio. And now we have a Jutsu Widowmaker. What am I seeing up here? Muhiki with that sun coming out, Melophobia getting burned by it, but at the very least, the Krazy 88z are able to do their job on point A.
And if they get this pick on the Vale side, oh, that is really bad for the 88s. However, Seal is still alive on the point, and he's just continuing to waste time. I mean, they're chasing these stragglers, but for what? They're not getting any ticks on the point. Well,
finally, Bolton Cake is going to stand tall against Seal. Get rid of them, and now we're finally going to see point A being taken care of. Looks like taking care of the stragglers, which is just what Krazy 88z were looking for. They didn't want that, I guess, offense to be mounted, but we're already starting to see some semblance of that. Oh, what a beautiful move to prevent Bob from being able to touch the point. Trailblazers, now look at them just trying to run away, trying to get out of there.
However, that took a lot of time for Krazy 88z to be able to confirm that. So I feel like if you're Trailblazers, you put yourself in a position where this feels extremely defensible. These next couple of fights could dictate how the rest of this map goes. If you can continue to be stalwart on this defense for the Trailblazers, you could take all the momentum right out of the hands that Krazy 88z have had.
It's gonna be so difficult, though. I mean, 40 minutes on the clock. Krazy 88z, 3 ultimates. One of them is gonna be used. Infrasight, able to gather so much valuable information. Up in the air once more. Using not quite enough. Seeing if this could be a head. No. Okay, there we go. Vale side gone. Maybe another one here. How's your day? Dipping in back and forth, but Melophobia. An opportunity comes in to pop that Dragon Blade. An opportunity comes in to cut the Trailblazers down into the ground. Krazy 88z, Pearly Gates of victory right in front of them. And soon to be, unless Trailblazers can pull out some miracle, map 2 for the Krazy 88z.
Again, they struggled a little bit, but as soon as they got that first point, it felt easy as Sunday morning for the Krazy 88z. This Junker Queen composition, the aggression they're playing with Melophobia, the Trailblazers, because they're not playing this Lucio, are just getting eaten alive by these ultimates time and time again. And that's just allowing the 88s to not have to invest much into these fights and win them.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw it there. We happened it like 3 different ultimates, one at a time, 1, 2, 3, and then it was pretty much taken care of here for the Krazy 88s, and now they're looking at tying up this series 3-0. Trailblazers still has the opportunity to come in for the reverse sweep, but once we come back from our break, we're going to be looking at what might be the final map here, that map being Suravasa, so don't go anywhere. Krazy 88's on the streak of a lifetime right now, sitting 2 to Trailblazers 0, needing to win out in one more game to tie up this series, to close out this series rather, and keep themselves in this tournament. My name is Sam Talks. Joining me is 2 tryhard Ray. And Ray, Krazy 88's, they've been doing good, but still one more map is all they need, and that map could be Suravasa.
And keep in mind, this is the situation Krazy 88s found themselves in last week against Worldwide. They were up 2-0, absolutely dominating, and then Worldwide made some adjustments. I think they just realized, it felt like Worldwide was trying really hard to not play Sigma May Bastion, and they were just trying to play Doomfist and other things, and they go, oh, fine, I guess it's meta, and they went Sig, May Bastion, and absolutely rolled after that. So the question is, are the Trailblazers going to make the same realization, especially when it comes to playing that Lucio?
Well, we're going to find out, right? Not having that Lucio from the Trailblazers, we saw that it just could not work. You don't have survivability. You don't have speed, right? Speed is the most important things in Overwatch, being able to get in the face of your opponents. And I mean, we even saw that from them in Oasis when they had speed on their side, right? They got right in the face of the Krazy 88s, wiped the floor with them, and got rid of them. And then decided, for some reason in Blizzard World, their own map pick, by the way, that they wanted to forego the Lucio in favor of Illari. Once again, fantastic hero, but just one that doesn't bring the same value as the Lucio. But still, Suravasa, once again, 1 out of the 2 new Flashpoint maps that we have, with the new game mode, of course, being Flashpoint. An opportunity here. We've talked about it. Backs against the wall. Trailblazers really do have their backs against the wall now, with the Krazy 88 sitting at that 2 over their 0. And so the reverse sweep, if it's going to happen, it needs to start here.
Yeah, Suravasa is one of those maps in Flashpoint where it's like 95% of the time most teams have been picking Suravasa. Haven't seen a lot of New Junk City love. I think it's because New Junk City is so set in what's good on that map. Like, you must play Brawl on this map or, you know, you're not going to do as well. Suravasa feels a little bit more open in the kinds of compositions you can see. So that's going to be great, but I still think, especially with the pace you have to play at on Flashpoint, being able to counter rotate, being able to catch teams just, you know, in between points and winning quick and easy fights, a Lucio is almost a must on a Flashpoint map.
And here we do have it, though, the history of what we've been seeing out of this series so far. And of course, as we've been mentioning, Krazy 88's winning out on both of the maps, Oasis and Blizzard World, though Oasis was a little bit more of a closer affair from the Trailblazers. And so we want to see that from them this time around on Suravasa, because if we don't, well, we're not going to see them anymore.
Yeah, Krazy 88's on match point, so Trailblazers completely backs against the walls. As we see some good swaps coming out of them as it sits in the spawn rooms. They are having How's Your Day on the Lucio. They're going to have Seal go over to the Orisa. I don't think we have seen much of that Orisa out of them today. They've mostly been hard stuck on the Sigma. So I'm very excited to see this coming out, especially going against the Junker Queen. You can really disrupt what she's trying to do with that commanding shout with a good javelin.
Well, we'll see how this is going to be going. Krazy 88's now at this series point of Suravasa Trailblazers. If this map does not go their way, they are out of here. All on the line for them to start this reverse sweep. We're already seeing Krazy 88's Jutsu putting out massive amounts of damage. Realm almost falling down across the way. Push back. Jutsu's going to be suffering somewhat similar of the same fate. Up in the air, Melophobia, of course, still on this Genji. On there, a very deadly Genji so far, sending that disruptor shot right back into the face of the Trailblazers. Looking like the Trailblazers are going to set themselves up on the point for now. Seal dipping low, but going to be bailed out in the nick of time. Melophobia still in control of this high ground. We have a quick deflect, maybe be able to put some pressure right back onto the Trailblazers, but no. The team are each team is just kind of respecting each other. Trailblazers are going to get that first capture.
That's the thing about that Orisa, as Ryan Guy is going to go down. The Orisa is just so chunky. When you're playing this Junker Queen composition, you can't sit there and poke and prod at the Orisa. You have to go up against more of the squishy targets. Get on that Sojourn. Force out that ice block from Veil's side. Go after the supports. The Orisa is like priority 0.
Yeah, and Ricky, I think, kind of realizing that the Junker Queen isn't going to work out here. It's time to get on the Sigma. It's time to start making the magic work. But already look at what the Trailblazers have ultimates-wise, right?
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Double support ultimates and coming up on Blizzard. And the thing is, going over to the Sigma, you're not running a Baptiste. It's going to make playing Sigma very hard because he relies heavily on being able to rotate cooldowns, including the Immortality Field.
Oh, and you can see Ricky trying to get out of there. This overclock in tandem with the Kitsune Rush might be able to give Jutsu something here, but there we have it. The How's Your Day sound barrier. Melophobia is going to cut right through them as it ticks down. Sound barrier runs out. Melophobia running out of life, but Krazy 88z running in to taking the points.
It was an extremely expensive fight for the 88s. The only thing they're going to have going for themselves forward is this sound barrier and 2 DPS ultimates that Trailblazers will have, and only needing to win one final fight. So positioning is key for the 88s, and Jutsu being able to find early picks and make these make Trailblazers' life that much harder, trying to push in down a person.
We're going to see what Trailblazers can do with the 3 ultimates they have right for them. Seal just going to run in there, hit the javelin spin right into the wall for Ricky. Realm, of course, overclocking, going to be the one to initially start things off. Melophobia able to pick up the Mega Pack, but right until then, Realm's going to hunt them down and stop them from doing anything much more than that. Bolting Cake, no HP, still able to step just with the low amount of health that they did have, enough to keep the team alive, the Krazy 88z on this point.
Yeah, and that was the problem with what the Trailblazers did, as Krazy 88z are going to be able to win this point. They split themselves up too much. You're playing Brawl. You got to play together. Too many of them went headhunting for the Genji, and because of that, the rest of the 88s were able to focus down the more key important members of Trailblazers, so that you didn't have healing for your team to be able to sustain, and the Krazy 88s win that first point after, you know, where it was looking bleak at 99-0, they flip it.
Yeah, just like what we saw out of the controlled map of Oasis, we're seeing similar things happening here on Flashpoint. Now we're looking inside the pearly golden rooftops of Palace. Krazy 88z one above the Trailblazers. Still already on the point, already working towards getting it for themselves. Trailblazers forced to go on there, make sure that doesn't happen. Seal is going to see that, but a Gravitic Flux is going to capture 2 of the Trailblazers inside of it. Gravity fails around them. The Accretion Rock doesn't quite hit Veilside, but the railgun shots from Jutsu hit, and they hit hard. Onto Veil, onto Seal, and then finally to clean up Realm.
Again, just clutch plays and rotations coming out of the 88s. They're taking full advantage with Ryan Guy on that Lucio of being able to rotate on top of isolated targets for the Trailblazers, and they are just pouncing. Melophobia going to have the blade. We've seen him time and time again cut through the opposing Trailblazers, but this time they have a sound barrier.
Wow. Muhiki couldn't even get to the point before they're ragdolling all over the place. Able to set up the amplification matrix in time, but no one can use it, Ray. Look how far forward it was.
Yeah, that was a big mistake coming out from Muhiki. And this is what I said Krazy 88z needed to do on the previous point when they were down 99-0. Position, give your hit scan Jutsu the ability to take an angle and find picks early in the fight. So taking Muhiki down exactly like that. So 88s are playing their win condition perfectly.
Oh, Veilside tried to get in, wanted to be that tip of the spear, but denied by the Rock and Melophobia. Of course, we know what this Dragon Blade can do. It is a horror story. It is a jump scare. It is a Halloween tale that will be told for centuries.
Like a hot knife through butter, as you would say. As now they're going to take point number 2, and now the Trailblazers have to be absolutely perfect the rest of this series, Sam. They have to reverse sweep on Flashpoint and reverse sweep the series. That is like Mount Everest they're climbing at this point.
And we're going to be going inside of Temple, so hopefully the Trailblazers have been saying their prayers. Krazy 88z already opening up with that amplification matrix. So much damage being amplified out there. The Immortality Field, a factor that has been eliminated. Trailblazers setting themselves away, spread out, and this is just so easy for the Krazy 88z to start running their way through. Realm in a desperation attempt. The overclock comes up, but denied any of that pressure by the Sigma shield. Now looking towards more opportunities, but nothing to be given to them. Nothing as they try to desperately escape.
And again, they just can't find any kind of angle in. The 88s, they're playing this Sigma composition so well. Jutsu able to play just close enough, but still take an angle and find these railgun shots. They have to find a way to limit what Jutsu's doing.
All right, finally, maybe able to get some pressure here applied. Melophobia, that amplification matrix with Mupiki is just too much, and now a gravitic flux putting them back up in the air, though. Ricky's still alive, Ricky's still fighting. And now we're going to see the power of that overclock in the hands of Jutsu once more. As you just deal the damage, you just do what needs to be done. Hit the accretion rock seal down on the ground permanently. And a quick wave at Veilside to stagger them out. Just keep them alive for a little bit here.
One final fight, Sam, as the Trailblazers try to keep their hopes alive. Losing Veilside late is going to be damaging because that was one of the ultimates they're going to have online. Is now they're going to swap over to the Traces, so you lose all that ult charge, so all you have is this gravitic flux. Lucky for them, Krazy 88z have no ults.
Unlucky for them, though. Melophobia is locked in and ready to close out this series. The pigs were just good enough, and the Krazy 88z are going to take this series in perfect form, 3-0, and keeping themselves in this tournament.
Not this time, they said. We were up 2-0 last week, and we let it slip through our grasp. And this week, they say nay, as Melophobia and the whole Krazy 88 squad sliced and diced and fought and clawed their way to the next round of the losers bracket.
Ooh, still a fantastic performance from the Krazy 88s. It seemed like they were a little shaky starting off on Oasis, right? Got that 99% before the Trailblazers came back in a beautiful 0 to 99, 0 to 100 run. And then the rest of Oasis, it felt like from that point on, just felt like the Krazy 88s were in charge, and they never let go of that steering wheel. It came down to just such the perfect abuse of the ways that Krazy 88s were able to abuse what Trailblazers compositions they were playing, but also really good teamwork, really good recognition of when to back away, but also how they corral, how they herd, and how the rest of the team is able to coordinate with each other in different aspects, right? We saw that multiple times with Melophobia on that Genji, and how they're able to push. If they aren't able to get a kill, they're able to push the Trailblazers into a way where the rest of the Krazy 88s are able to benefit massively. And this is just a team that coordination, if they can continue their run through the losers bracket, I would love to see that rematch against Worldwide.
Yeah, a couple things. I was talking with a collegiate player the other day, and one thing that, a point that was brought up is in PC teams, players and different things and iterations of different teams, people move around all the time. It's not every day you see a team like the Krazy 88s in a PC where they're coming up from console, where they have played together for many seasons. Yes, there are new additions, but a lot of the core is still there. So their synergy is a big reason why they were able to win tonight. But with that is going to pretty much wrap up this broadcast for me and Sam. Huge shout outs to Rhino, Poofa, and Little Joe behind the scenes observing and producing for us. We could not do what we do without you guys. In about 1 hour, I will be live with Joker's Ransom as we will be bringing you guys Danger Close 2 versus Li Zhang Legion in the NAGMT. So make sure to tune into that. It'll still be here on CGL 1. And with that, we bid you adieu. Peace out. See you guys later. Wow.